From the Mayor's office, I'm Rick Moore, along with Gloucester Mayor Carolyn Kirk. And Madam Mayor, it has been a wild couple of weeks. Here we are at the beginning of September, and it continues to be a little wild out there.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even say it's been a wild couple of weeks. It's been a wild week. We had the problem with the Cut Bridge. We had the fire on the Route 128 bridge. We've had a beach advisory in effect, and we're preparing for a hurricane. So that's a lot to pack into 1 week.
Let's back up a little bit. The coordination on that, the fire with hazardous materials, the crews working on the bridge. Yep. Obviously, with one lane coming in at certain times and so on, it's been a difficult commute anyway. Yeah. Yep. Something happens on the bridge, the emergency apparatus has to get there. Take us through what went on and then how that all was coordinated, because it didn't take long to clear up that situation, even though there are some people stuck in traffic.
Right. Well, that particular fire was reported through 911 calls, and immediately the fire department was dispatched. We also deployed the Harbor Master's office in the Coast Guard because of a bridge and the boat traffic traveling beneath. Logistically, it was a challenge for the fire department, but they did an incredible job. And then the police were the first actually to respond to just shut the bridge down to traffic, and then they worked on the traffic plan. And the fire department, once they assessed the nature of the fire and they determined that it was chemical in nature, they pretty much let that part of the fire burn itself out. And they hosed down the steel of the bridge and the wooden components nearby. So I have to give a ton of credit to the Gloucester Fire Department for assessing that situation and making the right call in terms of how to treat that fire. So the fire was out fairly quickly. However, the hazmat folks from the state and the bridge inspectors from the state had to be called in to evaluate any sort of structural damage, which again was done. But the traffic nightmare that existed for many hours in Gloucester was tried the patience of many, many people.
Well, it's a chain reaction because it's basically just really two ways in from the south.
Right.
And so it just backs traffic up everywhere in the city, I imagine.
Absolutely. The industrial park had not yet, exited, so they were kind of stranded up there. People were on the beaches. One woman, I was driving by in the opposite way from the traffic, and a woman rolled down her window and said, "Are you the mayor?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I have 6 children in this car." And I said, "My advice to you is to pull over and get them an ice cream." And I pointed her to an ice cream store that was about 2 blocks away. But I also ordered that the Cut Bridge be kept in the down position. Right. And that can be very controversial because you're really tying up the mariners, and mariners actually have right of way. Right. And the Coast Guard was very cooperative with Mass Highway because you can't have the A. Piatt Andrew Bridge closed and the Cut Bridge open and expect any movement at all in the city. So,
is there how does the chain of command work in that when all those different organizations are out there? You've got state police, Coast Guard, local fire officials, local police officials. How is it all coordinated?
Well, the incident command was set up on the bridge because you have multiple agencies. So there is a command post set up on the bridge, and there is someone pretty much in charge of the scene. Depends on what type of event it was. It was a fire event, so the fire department.
Okay.
In the instance of the Cut Bridge and the chain of command there, the police chief was giving me his report, and I asked him if the Cut Bridge was being allowed to open, or were we in motion with a policy to keep it shut during the event. And upon my request, the police chief made the formal request to the Coast Guard and Mass Highway to ensure that that bridge kept in the down position.
Beautiful.
They can turn it down, the mayor's office request down, but it was not an unreasonable request. And so the chief carried out his orders from the mayor's office to make that request because they had been opening and closing it, and the agencies went along with it.
Well, despite the traffic, it was a remarkably well-coordinated effort, and it was taken care of fairly quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it was what it was. You know what I mean? There's just no way around it.
No, once traffic starts to back up, that's it. But let's get Thursday as we speak here. It's the weekend of the Schooner Festival, which is huge for Gloucester. And we've gotten word that beaches will be closed from the state tomorrow. The block party is canceled for tomorrow night here in Gloucester, and other activities. I believe the fireworks, and the boat parade also have been canceled.
Yes.
So that, along with all the beach problems this week, has created some other headaches.
Yes. Yeah, it's just been, the beach advisory that the city issued on Tuesday that has lasted into yesterday and today was a result of Hurricane Danielle, if you can believe that. So as that passes, and that caused high surf and rip tides, which made for treacherous conditions, we anticipate over the Labor Day weekend from Hurricane Earl the same types of treacherous conditions. So we are going to take it day by day in terms of whether the beaches are open or closed, and we have empowered the lifeguards to make the determination, A, if areas of the beaches are closed, if people can swim past their waist, and whether or not they need backup from police and fire rescue folks. So we'll make those calls Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay.
And aside from checking in right here at MSO, the city website will have updates, I presume?
Yes. Yeah. The other thing is the city website, now the new website, when we update the city website, it automatically populates to Facebook. But the city only has 79 friends, so...
There's a metaphor there somewhere.
So I encourage all of you Facebook users out there to go to City of Gloucester, MA, and either befriend or quote-unquote like the City of Gloucester, and then any updates we put on the city website will be posted to Facebook as well.
All right, Madam Mayor. Thank you very much. It has been a very busy week.
Yeah.
From the Mayor's office, Gloucester Mayor Carolyn Kirk. For MSO Web Radio, I'm Rick Moore.